Hello and welcome to your bar-inspired sculpt Pilates-ish class. You're only going to need two things for equipment today, a chair or something to hold on to for balance, and a Pilates ball. And if you don't have a Pilates ball, a rolled up blanket or something that has a little give to it can be really helpful. But we're going to start with some core activation, so grab your Pilates ball and meet me on the floor. So we're going to ideally place this ball right behind the sacrum. It can be more mid-back if that feels more comfortable for you, but we just want to have it where we can have a little bit of engagement without fully relying on the Pilates ball. So for a moment, let's just feel what it feels like to get active. So reach the arms forward and then just lay into the ball. So as you lay into the ball and you're really lazy here, you'll feel your low back compressing into the ball. Your hip flexors probably feel a little bit of impingement. So that's not really the feeling we're looking for. So go ahead and flex your feet, dig your heels into the floor, and lift off the ball a little bit. So feel your actual core kicking in more rather than just laying into the low back. Reach the arms forward, shoulder heads down. We're gonna come back for 2 and up for 2. So it's just a little tiny range of motion. Again, this is just to get us active and warm, engaging through the core. So active through the feet, active through the arms, definitely active through the core. Softening through the shoulder head. Bracing through the core, especially as you start to lean back. And rather than thinking of rounding around the ball, see if you can't keep that same hinging from the hips the entire time as you lower, as you lift. Let's take the single count down and up. Keeping that core really braced, feet and arms really active. All right, hold at your midpoint, bring your hands together, we're going seated twist. So all we're doing here is trying to reach the elbow towards the floor, back around towards the hip. But we're not leaning into the ball, just like we kind of practiced in the beginning of our class today. We're staying up and active. So the ball is there for support, but it's not something we're just laying into like the floor. Let's go 3 more sets here. 2 more sets here, feeling the obliques kick in. 1 more each side. Now the next time you open up either to the left or the right, whatever side you're on, hold, and we're just gonna pulse back. So all I'm doing is tapping my elbow to the floor and coming up. So it's down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. So it's really small movement, digging deep into that oblique of the side you're twisting towards. So for me, that's my right side, but that might be your left. Maybe even starting to feel a little quivering as you extend back. 1 more. Twist over to the other side, same thing. Down an inch, up an inch. Really strong through the obliques. Whew. Feel that core kick in. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and come back to center just like we began. 2 counts up, 2 counts down. Again, not laying into that ball, but staying nice and active, reaching through the feet and through the arms. Bracing through the core. Down for 2, up for 2. Up, 2, down, 2. Up, 2, down, 2. You got it. That core really strong. Stay in it, you got this. 3, 2. We're gonna keep it going, but we go single counts here. So down and up, singles. 6 more. Last 3, 2, hold. Now we're gonna draw both elbows back simultaneously and come back up. Both elbows come back and reach towards the floor, come back up. Really strong here. Keep that belly drawing in towards the spine. Stay with this, you got this. 2 more, we're gonna hold the elbows back and pulse. So just like we did in the twist, down an inch, up an inch, we're here, both elbows reaching. Hopefully feeling that quivering sensation as you lean back. Remember the ball's right underneath your sacrum and low back. So it's not up at the mid back or the shoulders, but it's just there to support us in this position. Ooh, feel that in the deep core. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and release. Nice job. All right, we're gonna stay with the ball, but go ahead and flip it over onto hands and knees. And we're gonna start with the left leg. So take the Pilates ball and sandwich it right behind that left knee. Now from here, we're gonna come onto the forearms. So forearms down, right knee stays down. Flex your left foot, squeeze the ball like you're trying to make your heel touch your booty, and then take it up. 2 count donkey kick. Down for 2, up for 2. Down, 2, up, 2. Now as you move here, really make sure you're squeezing that ball behind the knee. That's gonna really get the glutes and the hamstrings nice and active. Keep your core braced. So we activated through the core, we got nice and warm there. Let's keep building on that sensation. Down for 2, up for 2. Keep squeezing that ball. Now depending on the size of the ball, it would be really easy just to let it rest behind your knee, but I'm asking you to really engage by squeezing it. The next time you lift up, hold, squeeze, and little pulse. Little tiny pulse, down an inch, up an inch. Really digging into the deep, deep, deep hamstring and glute. Stay with it. You got this. Keep pulsing. All right, we're gonna do that same thing, but we're gonna play around with dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. So lower, keep the foot flexed, lift and point the foot. Flex to lower, point to lift. And just notice how changing the flexion of the foot changes the sensation of the movement. Ooh, I hope you're feeling your hamstring and your booty on that left leg. Let's go 3 more here. We're gonna come back to that pulse in 2. This time keep the toe pointed so it's different than the last pulse we did, and pulse it out. Now maybe you can get your thigh parallel with the floor here, maybe not. But play around to see how high you can get that with the hip staying square towards the earth. Squeeze that ball, don't let it just rest there. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Now we pulse squeeze the ball. So it's like you're tapping your butt with your heel. Obviously probably not gonna make a connection, but that's the sensation we're going for. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Whew. Posterior chain on fire. Stay with it, you got this. Now as you get tired, the knee might start to lower. See if you can keep that thigh parallel with the floor. 3, 2, 1. Hold it in. Final round of pulse. You got this. Keep squeezing that ball. You're almost there. 5, 4, 3. Don't lower, but you're gonna bring your the same knee that's down. So for me, that's my right leg. Forearm towards the floor. And then you're gonna come up onto that left hand so we can open the hip. So all we're gonna do is close the hip, open the hip. Still squeezing the ball behind the knee. Just closing and opening that hip. So a little bit of mobility as well as strength. Whew. Keep that leg up high. Last 2. Now hold it here. That little curl we did, squeeze, release. We're coming right back to that. Squeeze, release, with your hip open. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Keep breathing, stay in it, you got this. Nice job. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Nice job. Release the Pilates ball. Take a moment, maybe wiggle the hips, whatever might feel really helpful and nice. Now remember what leg you just did? Because we're gonna come to the chair, we're gonna do some standing stuff, and then we're gonna come back to the floor to the other leg. So I did my left leg, but if you did your right, just make sure you remember that so you don't do the same leg twice. All right, go ahead and bring it up. You're gonna need your something to hold on to for balance and your Pilates ball here. So I'm just using a folding chair, but whatever you have in your space can be really helpful. Getting warm, turning the fan on. All right, so the Pilates ball is gonna go up between the upper thighs. So squeezing that in place. Now, the chair or whatever you're using is here for balance. We're gonna keep the feet parallel, hip distance apart to begin, and we're gonna focus on the inner thigh. So soft bend in the knees. It's not a huge bend, not like a squat, but just a little soft bend. And we're just gonna focus inner thigh, squeeze, release, like an old school thigh master. Squeeze and release. So we're gonna progress from here. We're gonna slowly add on some heel raises and some squats, but right now just inner thigh engagement. So the whole time the ball is being squeezed, but it's a deeper squeeze, release, deeper squeeze, release. So you're just feeling your inner thighs hug in around that ball. Soften in the knees, make sure the legs aren't straight and locked out. All right, 3, almost there, 2. Now squeeze and hold. Here's where your balance is gonna come in. Come up onto the balls of the feet, so the heels are lifted, and we're gonna pulse down and up without losing this inner thigh engagement. So chest is lifted, core is braced, and I'll show from the diagonal too. So knees are gonna extend past the toes. You're still squeezing that ball in place, bracing through the core. My legs are already shaking. Stay in it, you got this. Now, again, we're gonna be progressing. So the next time you lower into your squat, hold. Heels are still lifted, squeeze, release the ball again. So we're in our squat, deeper knee bend, heels are lifted, you're balancing on the balls of your feet and squeezing your inner thighs. Stay with it, you got this. Really focusing here on the whole lower body. We've got calves, we've got plantar work through the bottom of the foot, inner thighs, outer thighs, hamstrings, glutes. All right, so keep this pulse going. We're gonna do a little combination. So pulse the ball as you lower your squat. Keep pulsing as you lift. So it's gonna be about 4 pulses as you lower, 4 pulses as you lift. Feel the inner thighs even more now. Down 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow, 4, 3, 2. Stay up on the balls of the feet, don't drop your heels. Feel those inner thighs. Feel the quads. You got this. Chest stays lifted, core is braced. Stay in it. Now we're gonna come to the lowest point of our squat on this next one. Lower for 4, hold. Balancing here, quads are shaking, squeeze and release the ball. Hold your isometric squat. Hopefully the quads are on fire. You're still on the balls of your feet, heels are lifted, squeeze, release the inner thighs. Woo. Stay in it, we're almost there, let's go. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Oh! Now do you feel your inner thighs and your quads? All right, just for sake of evening out our sides for the upper body, let's just take our chair, whatever, to the other side. Not necessary, but if you like to just even it out, that might be nice. Ball is gonna go under the hand, creating a little bit more of an unstable surface. However, that does not work for you. You can always remove the ball completely. We're gonna have to open up through the feet. Heels are gonna touch. So my heels are touching, toes are slightly turned out. We're coming right into a calf raise. So up, 2, down, 2. Now when I lower, I'm not resting all of my body weight into my heels. My heels barely touch the floor before I'm coming right back up. Also, we're here for balance, so you can always take something away if you want to really focus on your balance or stay connected. But make sure you're standing nice and tall. So my shoulders are stacked right on top of my hips. My hips are stacked right on top of my ankles. So we want to make sure we're not hinging forward, or falling back and extending through the chest. Everything stays nice, stacked, and aligned. All right, we're going to add a little plie. So again, progressing. The next time you lift up, hold your calf raise. So slowly plie for 2, and down for 2. Out for 2, up for 2. So still lower body focus, inner thighs. I have barely any weight here, holding on for balance. See if you can use your legs to do the majority of the work. The chair, whatever you're using, is there for you if you need it. But keep this in the legs. Now the next time you lower into your plie, my heels are still lifted. We're going that thigh master. Squeeze the thighs, release. Just like we did with the ball on the other side. Balancing on the ball of the feet. Heels are together and lifted, and you're halfway down into your plie. Whew. Stay with it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold them open and pulse. You're just pulsing at the bottom end of this plie. Hopefully feeling inner thighs and quads. Core is still braced, chest is still lifted. Slight tuck of the tailbone underneath of you. Stay with this, you got this. 8, 6, we're almost there. 4, 3, 2, bring it all the way up, lower your heels, and release. Shake it out. Nice job. All right, you can set your chair off towards the side. Keep your Pilates ball. We're bringing it back to the floor to do the other leg. So if you had the ball the first time behind the left knee, now it's going to be behind the right knee. So come into your tabletop position. Place the ball right behind the right knee. Come onto your forearms. We have our 2 counts up, 2 counts down. Squeeze the ball as hard as you can, heel to glute. Up, 2, down, 2. Up, 2, down, 2. Now I have my foot flexed for this first round. So that dorsiflexion. Also, another thing to note, keep your core really strong. We don't want to be turning this into a back bend as we lower the leg. So keep everything nice and stable. Keep squeezing that ball. That's how we're going to get nice and active through that back body. All right, we're going single count. Actually, I don't think we did that on the other side. I think we went into the pulse. So hold up and pulse. So again, that thigh is somewhat parallel with the floor or as high as you can get it, whatever feels better in your body. Squeeze that ball. Really focusing on that glute. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to play around with the foot, the dorsiplantar flexion. So point as we lift, flex as we lower. Point your foot as you lift your leg, flex your foot as you lower. And again, notice how that changes the sensation in the glute and the hamstring. Just changing the orientation of the foot. Nice, slow, and controlled movement here. Now keep going. Another thing you want to notice, especially if we're working on the right leg right now, make sure you're not dumping into the left side. You want to keep your hips and your chest square to the floor. So notice if you feel like all of your weight is on your left side. See if you can't even out the weight between your left forearm and your right forearm, and you're keeping your hips square. So we're not in our open hip orientation yet. Hips are closed off towards the floor still. The next time you lift up, give that pointed foot, pulse. Squeeze that ball. All right, hold at the top. We've got that little hamstring curl. So we bend and release. So it's like you're squeezing the ball, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. And I'm going to turn the other way for when we go into the open hip rotation. So I'm facing towards the camera, but you stay where you're at. Whew. All right, one more round of that pulse. Hold your squeeze, pulse it up. Stay in at 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg up. Don't drop it. Turn your left forearm or whatever leg is on the floor, parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bring your other hand up. So I'm on one forearm, one hand. Hip rotation. Open your hip, close your hip. Open the hip, close the hip. Still squeezing the ball behind the knee. See if you can't keep your leg up high. So when you open the hip, the inner thigh is kind of parallel with the floor. And then when you close the hip, the front of the thigh is parallel with the floor. Or again, just as high as you can. Stay with it. Two more here. We're going to hold the hip open on this next one. We've got that pulsing motion. So contract the ball, release. Contract, release. Contract, release. This is like you're trying to kick your butt. Almost there. Stay with it. Really feel that back body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Oh my goodness. Whew. Little shake out. Nice job. All right, we're keeping the Pilates ball. This time we're going to place it right underneath the tailbone and we're going to lay down. So all we're doing here is creating an unstable surface for the core. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to ditch the ball and just do this on the floor, no problem. But you're going to slide that ball right underneath your tailbone. And then with control, find your balance. Bring your knees into your chest. Once you feel like you're nice and balanced, bring your legs into a tabletop. So knees on top of hips and then ankles in line with your knees. We're going to start really slowly. With control, lower your right foot for 2, lift for 2. Stay on the right side, lower for 2, lift for 2. Down, 2, lift, 2. One more here on this right side, and then we go right into the left side. Keep your heels lifted. Try not to let them drop down towards your glutes. Really using the deep core muscles to hold this tabletop position. 3 more here. Now, if this is really challenging, I'm going to invite you to start to alternate in 2. If you feel like you're ready for it, without too much back extension, we're going to take both legs down together. Keep your core braced so you're not turning this into a back extension around the ball. Up, 2, down, 2, up, 2, down, 2, up, 2, down, 2. Keep it going, either alternating legs or doing them both together, whatever feels more accessible to you. Last 3. Last 2. One more here. The next time your legs are in table, hold. Extend your right leg up straight towards the sky. Left leg is still in table. We're going to flex both feet, so you're in dorsiflexion. We're going to lower the legs until your left foot finds the floor. Bring them back up. So what you're wanting to do here is keep your knees glued together. Now, if you feel okay, maybe we take the hands away from the floor and we reach them up towards the sky. Really embrace the wobble. Now that's like, nope, that doesn't work for me. Feel free to bring your hands right back to the floor. Give yourself some extra kickstands. All right, the next time you lift the legs, just switch them up. Bend your right leg, straighten your left. Dorsiflex through both. Lower till the right foot finds the floor. Bring it back up. Now while you lower, really brace your core so we're not extending the belly forward and turning this into a back bend. Nothing from the hips up is moving. Just the legs are lowering and lifting. The core is staying isometrically loaded. Almost there. Stay with this. You got this. You got this. All right, bring it back up, hold. Now both legs straighten. This time, plantar flexion. Point your feet. Lower them until you feel your low back has to arch. Then bring them back up towards the sky. They might not make it to the floor this time. That's okay. Control, control. Brace your core. Don't let it poof open. Really strong here. And again, hands can return to the floor if you want the extra kickstand, or keep reaching them to the sky and embrace the wobbles. Let it be unstable. Let that extra challenge be there for the core. When we challenge our bodies, that's how our nervous systems learn to adapt to challenges that we create. All right, now if your arms are reaching, if that doesn't feel okay for you, I want you to not do this next part. We're going to slowly reach the arms overhead as the legs lower. Sandwich everything together like a jackknife. Arms and legs extend. Brace your core, no back bend. Everything comes back together. Open it up. Close it off. Keep that core really strong here. Let's go 2 more. Woo. 1 more. Now, hold at the top. Bend your knees, you're back in your tabletop position. Bring the fingertips behind the ears. We're going to crunch the upper body. Now, here's where we're really going to feel this unstable surface in the lower body. Keep your heels lifted. They're not falling towards your tush. Your ankles are in line with your knees or higher. Taking the head away from the floor. So now the only thing touching the floor is the upper and mid back.
Your love is what I need.
Now see if we can't add a leg extension with this. So as you hunch up, extend your right leg. Up, left, right, left, right, left. Keep it going. Now if possible, let's do both legs together. Woo! Don't fall off towards the side. Final 8, this is how we finish. 6. Last 4. 3. 2. 1. Hug your knees in. Nice job. Go ahead and set your feet to the floor. Bridge your hips up. Remove your ball. Roll the spine back down towards the floor. Gentle windshield wiper, knees side to side. Massage the sacrum and the low back. And then however you'd like to get there, press yourself up. And that's it for our bar workout.